Hey, good day, everybody. Here's stress is such a big part of everyone's life. If you're busy and you've got a family, you got a business, you got a part-time business, you're just running around like crazy. Stress is a part of everybody's life. So here's 10 strategies to remove or reduce stress. Number one, people who reduce stress, they appreciate what they have. Taking time to contemplate what you're grateful for isn't merely the right thing to do, it also improves your mood because it reduces the stress hormone cortisol by 23%. Research conducted at the University of California, Davis found that people who work daily to cultivate an attitude of gratitude experience improved mood, energy, and physical well-being. It's likely that lower levels of cortisol play a major role in this. So one of the things I think is every day we have problems, I know, and there's stress associated, but there's always multiple things to be grateful for. That's one of the things to do is focus on that. Number two, they avoid asking what if. What if statements throw fuel on the fire of stress and worry. Things can go in a million different directions, and the more time you spend worrying about the possibilities, the less time you'll spend focusing on taking action that will calm you down and keep your stress under control. Calm people know that asking what if will only take them to a place they don't want or need to go. You know, one of the things I heard a long time ago that was really great is that worrying is like praying for what you don't want. And when you're focusing on what you don't want, you're not getting what you want. So one of the things that I do is I only focus on what I want, and I reject any thought that isn't what I want. Number three, they stay positive. Positive thoughts help make stress intermittent by focusing your brain's attention onto something that's completely stress-free. It's basically the same thing, focusing on what you want. You have to give your wandering brain a little help by consciously selecting something positive to think about. Any positive thought will do to refocus your attention. When things are going well and your mood is good, this is relatively easy. When things are going poorly and your mind is flooded with negative thoughts, this can be a challenge. But you still have control over choosing your thoughts, folks. Even though you think you don't, you do. In these moments, think about your day and identify one positive thing that happened, no matter how small. If you can't think of something from the current day, reflect on the previous day or even the previous week. Or perhaps you're looking forward to an exciting event that you can focus your attention on. The point here is that you must have something positive that you're ready to shift your attention to when your thoughts turn negative. Number four, they disconnect. Given the importance of keeping stress intermittent, it's easy to see how taking regular time off the grid can help you keep your stress under control. When you make yourself available to your work 24/7, you expose yourself to a constant barrage of stressors, forcing yourself offline, even turning off your phone gives your body a break from a constant source of stress. Studies have shown that something as simple as an email break can lower stress levels. Technology enables constant communication and the expectation that you should be available 24/7. It's extremely difficult to enjoy a stress-free moment outside of work when an email that will change your train of thought, and when you get an email and you get your thinking stressing about work can drop onto your phone at any moment. If detaching yourself from work-related communication on weekday evenings is too big a challenge, then how about the weekend? Choose blocks of time when you cut the cord and go offline. You'll be amazed at how refreshing these breaks are and how they reduce stress by putting mental recharge into your weekly schedule. If you're worried about the negative repercussions of taking this step, first try doing it at times when you're unlikely to be contacted. Maybe Sunday morning as you grow more comfortable with it. Baby steps, right? And as your coworkers begin to accept the time you spend offline, gradually expand the amount of time you spend away from technology. Number five, they limit their caffeine intake. Oh, I love my coffee in the mornings. I only drink it in the morning, though. Drinking caffeine triggers the release of adrenaline. Adrenaline is the source of the fight or flight response, a survival mechanism that forces you to stand up and fight or run for the hills when faced with a threat. The fight or flight mechanism sidesteps rational thinking in favor of a faster response. This is great when a bear is chasing you, but not so great when you're responding to a curt email. When caffeine puts your brain and body into this hyper-aroused state of stress, your emotions overrun your behavior. The stress that caffeine creates is far from intermittent, as its long half-life ensures that it takes its sweet time working its way out of your body. Number 6, day sleep. I've beaten this one to death over the years and can't say enough about the importance of sleep to increasing your emotional intelligence and managing your stress levels. When you sleep, your brain literally recharges, shuffling through the day's memories and storing or discarding them, which causes dreams, so that you wake up alert and clear-headed. Your self-control, attention, and memory are all reduced when you don't get enough or the right kind of sleep. Sleep deprivation raises stress hormone levels on its own, even without a stressor present. Stressful projects often make you feel as if you've no time to sleep, but taking the time to get a decent night's sleep is often the one thing keeping you from getting things under control. Number 7, they squash negative self-talk. A big step in managing stress involves stopping negative self-talk in its tracks. The more you ruminate on negative thoughts, the more power you give them. Most of our negative thoughts are just that, thoughts. They're not facts. When you find yourself believing the negative and pessimistic things your inner voice says, it's time to stop and write them down. Literally stop what you're doing and write down what you're thinking. Once you've taken a moment to slow down the negative momentum of your thoughts, you will be more rational and clear-headed in evaluating the veracity. You can bet that your statements aren't true anytime you use words like never or worse or ever, etc. If your statement still looks like facts once they're on paper, take them to a friend or a colleague you trust and see if they agree with you. Then the truth will surely come out. When it feels like something always or never happens, this is just your brain's natural threat tendency inflating the perceived frequency or severity of an event. Identifying and labeling your thoughts as thoughts by separating them from facts will help you escape the cycle of negativity and move toward a positive new outlook. Those great ideas right there. Number 8, they reframe their perspective. Stress and worry are fueled by our own skewed perception of events. It's easy to think that unrealistic deadlines, unforgiving bosses, or out-of-control traffic are the reasons we're so stressed all the time. You can't control your circumstances, but you can control how you respond to them. So before you spend too much time dwelling on something, take a minute to put the situation in perspective. If you aren't sure when you need to do this, try looking for clues that your anxiety may not be proportional to the stressor. If you're thinking in broad, sweeping statements such as everything's going wrong or nothing will work out, then you need to reframe the situation. A great way to correct this unproductive thought pattern is to list the specific things that actually are going wrong or not working out. Most likely, you'll come up with some things, not everything, and the scope of these stresses will look much more limited than it initially appeared. Number 9, they breathe. This is a big one, breathing. The easiest way to make stress intermittent lies in something that you have to do every day anyways, breathing. The practice of being in the moment with your breathing will begin to train your brain to focus slowly on the task at hand and get the stress monkey off your back. When you're feeling stressed, take a couple of minutes to focus on your breathing. Close the door, put away all other distractions, your phone, TVs, radios, whatever, and just sit in a chair and breathe. I know this sounds silly, but it absolutely works. The goal is to spend the entire time focused only on your breathing, which will prevent your mind from wandering. Think about how it feels to breathe in and out. It sounds simple, but it's hard to do for more than a minute or two. It's all right if you get sidetracked by another thought. Sure to happen at the beginning. You just need to bring your focus back to your breathing. If staying focused on your breathing proves to be a real struggle, try counting each breath in and out until you get to 20. Then start again from 1. Don't worry if you lose count. You can always just start over. This task may seem too easy or even a little silly, but you'll be surprised by how calm you feel afterward and how much easier it is to let go of distracting thoughts that otherwise seem to have lodged permanently inside your brain. Folks, I know this works because I do this. Number 10, and finally, they use their support system. It's tempting, yet entirely ineffective, to attempt tackling everything by yourself to be calm and productive. You need to recognize your weaknesses and ask for help when you need it. This means tapping into your support system when a situation is challenging enough for you to feel overwhelmed. Everyone has someone at work or outside work who's on their team, rooting for them and ready to help them get the best from a difficult situation. Identify these individuals in your life and make an effort to seek their insight and assistance when you need it. Something as simple as talking about your worries will provide an outlet for your anxiety, stress, and supply you with a new perspective on the situation. Most of the time, other people can see a solution that you can't because you're not as emotionally invested in the situation, because they are not emotionally invested in the situation. Asking for help will mitigate your stress and strengthen your relationships with those you rely upon. Okay, so there's no reason why you can't do these things. They're simple things. I know all of you are stressed at some point or another. You might be really stressed right now. These are great ideas to help you reduce your stress. Start using them today.